The State of the County of Roanoke is an opportunity to strengthen a dialogue among the government, business community, and the region at large. And now it's my distinct pleasure and honor to introduce our featured speaker. The current chairman of the Roanoke County Board of Supervisors is Joseph Butch Church. Chairman Church was elected to the Roanoke County Board of Supervisors in 1999, re-elected to the board in 2003 and 2007, representing the Catawba District. He served as vice chairman in 2001 and as chairman in 2002 and 2010. He is actively engaged in the community, giving his time and talent to the numerous civic and governmental organizations, including former college basketball referee, Division I, serving 26 years, past president of the Woodbridge Neighborhood Association, past member of the Roanoke County Civic League Presidents, and a former Roanoke County Sandlot coach serving 10 years for 3 different sports. He currently serves on the board of the Roanoke Regional Partnership and the Virginia Museum of Transportation, the Roanoke County Audit Committee, Cable Television Committee, School Construction Committee, and Social Services Advisory Board. And he serves as an alternate for Virginia's first Regional Industrial Facilities Authority and the Western Virginia Regional Jail Authority. Butch is a lifelong resident of the Roanoke Valley. His education includes Jefferson Senior High School and National Business College. And Butch is a retired small business owner and nationwide insurance operator. I'm pleased to welcome Joe Butch Church, Chairman of the Roanoke County Board of Supervisors. Chairman Church.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I want to take a moment to thank Charlie Robbins. Charlie, thank you for your kind introduction, and thank you for all that you do for the Roanoke Valley. Before I begin my opening remarks, I want to reflect on a meeting with the Roanoke Regional Partnership yesterday at Hotel Roanoke. And I left that meeting with a slogan that kind of stuck with me. Thought about it last night during my rehearsal, and it said, opportunity is knocking in the Roanoke Valley. And you know, that's really a true statement. Opportunity is knocking. And I'm here today to tell you that Roanoke County, we're poised and we're ready to answer that knock. And I want to thank the regional partnership because there's a lot of good things going on. And by working together and pulling our knowledge and our resources, we can make it happen, folks. We can make it happen. I want to take this time to recognize some special guests sitting at my table, which is directly in front of the podium. The chairman has a special invitation list each year, and I wanted to take this occasion to try to do something special for the principals in my Glenver Northside Catawba District. And I affectionately call it the Glenver Northside Catawba District because it does include the large part of North Roanoke, the major part of the Glenver area to the Montgomery County line, and all the way to Craig County. My district alone is large enough to put Roanoke City and Salem inside it 2 times. So I have a diverse selection of citizens, and I want to say how proud I am to be able to acknowledge some principals that serve in our district. We have several that cannot be here today. Obviously, with school going on, special requirements going on, they can't make every event. But I want to ask them, as I call their names, to stand and be recognized and remain standing. Mr. Danny Gard from our Glenver Elementary School, Kim Bradshaw, Fort Lewis Elementary, Jan Nichols, Glen Cove Elementary, Lori Wimbush from Northside Middle School. Mr. Frank Dent could not make it this morning, but he represents Northside High School, our state champion football and girls softball state champions in North Roanoke. And Dr. Julie Myers, the Glenver Middle School, has a commitment out of town. And also Ashley McCallum, Masons Cove. could not make it this morning. I'm honored to have you folks as my guest, and I want to publicly say thank you to the students, the dedication you've given to the students, and also to the community that you serve. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me honor our guest. Thank you. Again, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and on behalf of my fellow board members and our County Administrator, Clay Goodman, I want to thank each of you for taking the time out of your schedule to be here. This is an extraordinary opportunity to provide our citizens, our elected leaders, and the business community with a look at where Roanoke County is today and the opportunities and challenges that lie before us. And I want to say thank you personally to my board, our Board of Supervisors this morning. If I could ask you when I call your name to stand and remain standing. Our Vice Chairman, Ed Ellswick, Windsor Hills. Ed, where are you? Remain standing, please, Ed. Mike Altizer from Benton. Charlotte Moore from Cave Spring. And, of course, Richard Floor represents Hollins, but he could not be here. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please help me say thank you to our board. Thank you. This year has been one of the most challenging that we have had in many, many years. I will be discussing this in detail today, but I want to thank the many dedicated employees in Roanoke County. We challenged you. We cut your departmental budgets, and then we cut them again. And you responded with an outstanding job. And from this podium today, I say thank you. And folks, if you're looking for a great example of what can be accomplished when we work together, just look around this facility that we're here at today. Many of you attended last year's State of the County address, and it was presented right here at Greenridge. Since the very first day, it has been a huge success. Back in January when we opened the doors, and I was here, we had citizens, old and young, families lined up to take tours of this wonderful facility. Most of them signed their membership that same day, just after walking around. It was an unbelievable sight. The citizens really made this special place their own. They took over ownership. And I'm proud to tell you that since January, nearly 70,000 one-day passes have been purchased. 70,000. And that number doesn't include our annual members that walk through these doors every day. In fact, we anticipate over 350,000 to pass in and around and through this facility this year. Of course, our outdoor water park, Splash Valley, has been a big factor in these attendance numbers. I mean, hey, after all, who wouldn't want to take a ride on a 3.5-story water slide? Think about it. I've not done it yet, but I'm going to get my nerve up to do it. You know, we've got indoor pool, our exercise area, walking track. Groups and businesses take the opportunity to hold special events here. It's an opportunity for meetings and other items. Since January, we've had over 500 rentals, corporate meetings, and other functions here at Greenridge. Our rentals, combined with our memberships, daily passes, revenue from concessions, and program fees, have generated over $2.1 million. And that in itself is fantastic. It has allowed Greenridge to cover the cost of its first year of operations. Again, an unbelievable achievement. In fact, at the end of October, just last month, folks, we're in the black by $90,000 already. This is one fantastic effort and job. Help me thank our staff. Okay. This building has surpassed all of our expectations, and based on visitor comments, it quickly has become the signature building for all of Roanoke County. Our Roanoke County Parks, Recreation, and Tourism Department took home 6 awards at this year's Virginia Recreation and Park Society's annual conference. The Green Ridge Awards included Best New Facility, Best Promotional Effort. In addition, it won the Project Award for the 2010 VACO Achievement Award from the Virginia Association of Counties. These awards remind us that by working together with our citizens and business partners, we made it happen. I want to take time right now to congratulate Pete Hazlett, our Parks, Recreation, and Tourism Director, and his staff for a simply outstanding job. Pete, would you and your staff please stand to be recognized? Just a few weeks ago, the county was advised that Green Ridge has been awarded LEED Gold certification, the second highest rating that a project can receive. In fact, Green Ridge is one of the few recreation centers in the country to achieve this level. Another Roanoke County project that earned basic LEED certification this year may surprise you. Our Fleet Maintenance Center. General Services Director Anne Marie Green and her staff worked extremely hard to make this happen. I congratulate them for this achievement. Roanoke County is continuing to improve its outdoor recreational opportunities. Working through the Greenway Commission, the county was awarded a $3.5 million grant earlier this year. It will be used to design and construct a part of the Roanoke River Greenway, joining Mill Lane in Salem and Green Hill Park in Roanoke County. We will be holding community meetings in the near future in and around this project to, again, be transparent and ask our citizens how they feel. I want to thank the Greenway Commission and its coordinator, Liz Belcher, and Roanoke County's Greenway coordinator, Janet Scheid, for a wonderful job in their cooperative efforts that helped us secure this extraordinary grant. Speaking of outdoor recreation, Roanoke County is fortunate to have one of the most scenic parks in America right at its doorstep. Almost 3,000 acres and over 25 miles of the Blue Ridge Parkway are within our boundaries. Our board understands the importance of the Blue Ridge Parkway, importance to our citizens and to the region, and that's why we designated a person in the Public Information Office to help coordinate the 75th anniversary this year. Today I want to thank Penny Lloyd. She could not be here, but her tireless efforts and dedication made our 75th anniversary a big success. Here in Roanoke County, we want to be sure that this special place is preserved for our families, now and into the future. Environmental pressures and fast-paced development also present some legal challenges for our board. And with that being said, we're very fortunate to have our county attorney to rely on as we make decisions that affect many areas of the county. Paul Mahoney and his able staff have served Roanoke County for many years. We turn to him often for advice. Now to libraries. It's another wonderful contributor to our area's quality of life. And I can tell you folks, our citizens are passionate, and I say passionate, about their libraries. In many cases, the libraries are the heart of a community, and I believe it should be viewed as an investment in education. We all know that libraries provide the basic traditional services. People go to check out books, take a computer class, sign their little one up for a summer reading program. But what you don't know is during these tough economic times, they are busier than ever before. They're also the place where people turn if they don't have access to a computer or the internet at home. Layoffs and job freezes are occurring much too often. So libraries have stepped up and helped teach our people computer skills, how to search the internet, and maybe how to get that winning resume taken care of. We're proud to say in Roanoke County, through years of careful planning, we have laid the foundation to fund not one, but 2 libraries this year. One that will replace our 419 headquarters, and another to replace the Glenver branch. We broke ground about a year ago for what will become the new South County Library. Right after we broke ground, I think it rained and or snowed and or whatever for a long time, but it's underway. Construction is ongoing, and we hope to have it completed next fall. And I can tell you anticipation is building in the Glenver community as plans are taking shape for the new library there. The current Glenver Library is cramped and outdated. Built 30 years ago, the community was much smaller at that time. Today, they have many more families in the area who use the library, as well as residents of the Richfield retirement community, which is right next door. The current size of the Glenver Library is 5,114 feet. The new one is expected to be over 15,000 square feet. Getting approval for this new library was very important to me. We worked hard to put together the necessary funding so the project could be completely paid for without additional borrowing. And that in itself is a minor miracle. The Glenver community is very excited about finally having a full-service library. We expect to begin this construction early 2011 and hope to have it done within the year, 1 year from that date. I want to take a moment now to extend my special gratitude to our library director, Diana Rosapet, and her staff for the dedication and commitment to both of these projects. I would be remiss if I didn't also thank the Friends of the Library and our citizens for their patience and support. Together, folks, we made it happen. Libraries and the staff who work inside them are a tremendous resource. But this is also true of the men and women who've dedicated their careers in helping others through social work. As a member of the Social Services Advisory Board, I have been deeply touched by the stories I've heard and the people I've met. The cases of children in foster care, hoping to be reunited with their parents or awaiting adoption, are heartbreaking. The growing number of single parents, families in need, and the elderly impacted by the economy are just as tough to hear. These are good people, folks, our neighbors who are struggling. They've lost a job. They're having trouble keeping the lights on, food on the table, and having their bills paid. Helping these families locate resources and cope with the day-to-day challenges is what the staff of the Roanoke County and Salem Department of Social Services does on a daily basis. They don't often get any recognition, but they deserve it. As a board member, I can personally assure you that they make a critical difference in the lives of so many people. I want to take a minute and commend Dr. Betty McCrary and her team of employees for the tremendous job that they do. As some of you may know, or maybe have read, Dr. McCrary has decided to retire after 37 wonderful years in Roanoke County. On behalf of the Board of Supervisors and our entire staff, I want to say congratulations and best wishes to Betty. You've made a tremendous difference in the lives of so many children, adults, and seniors, and your willingness to help people will never be forgotten. And now I'm going to ask Betty, where are you? Stay where you are. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me. This lady deserves a big round. People in that department and the job that they do can never be thanked enough, and I'm sure everyone sitting here can realize that. Turning now to economic development, it's been a high priority for Roanoke County for many years. Economic Development Director Doug Chittum can tell you good fundamentals and contributions from everyone is how we make things work. For a few examples, we got Plastic One on Merriman Road is in the midst of an industrial expansion. Recycling and Disposal Solutions has located a new facility in the Hollins area. On the retail front, Advance Auto has opened a new store in the town of Benton. CVS has opened at the Kroger Shopping Center in Bonsai. And of course, all of you know we're looking forward to the new Super Walmart in Clearbrook, which will be opening sometime soon. First Team Auto Mall just completed renovations of a formerly vacant building on Peters Creek Road. And now I'm going to turn to another economic development project that may surprise many of you, because it is truly an economic development project, but it's something much different and much more meaningful to this board member, and I think everyone sitting here today. And that is the grand opening of the St. Francis service dog training facility in Hollands. I was honored to be a part of that ribbon cutting, and I'll be honest with you, I had a hard time keeping my eyes dry. I think my colleague, Ms. Moore, was there, and it is just so touching to see and witness the valuable services that these animals do for the people that they serve. I want to tell you that it's an internationally accredited, training service right here in Roanoke. These service dogs help people with disabilities ranging from children with autism to adults who have suffered from accidents, from stroke, from MS, and cerebral palsy. The new kennel enables St. Francis to increase the number of dogs in training, and therefore the number of dogs that are placed with partners on an annual basis. The executive director, Cabell Ewell, wanted to be here and could not. I've talked to her as recently as yesterday. I want to say thank you to Cabell for her leadership and insight. But now I want to say a special thank you to Carol Willoughby. And Carol is sitting directly in front of me to my left. She has her wonderful service dog, Midas. What a wonderful name. Many people don't know this story, and I wanted to take a moment to say to Carol and her first service dog, Booker, years ago, were the inspiration and the backbone and the heartbeat in the Roanoke Valley for this wonderful organization. Carol, you and your first dog, Booker, began the journey that today we are celebrating. And folks, if you haven't been by or if you don't know much about the St. Francis organization, please take my advice, stop by and see them, find out what they do. You'll come away just shaking your head in amazement. Folks, I really want to hear it from you. Carol is here and her husband Doug. I want you to please welcome them and let them know how much we appreciate them. Thank you so much, Carol, for being here, and Doug, thank you so much. A new economic development initiative that I'm also very excited about is the Virginia Tech Catawba Sustainability Center. This project is a perfect example of what can be done and what can be accomplished when we are working together with our citizens and business partners. The Sustainability Center is on a 377 acres tract in Catawba Valley. It is an experimental showcase for university education and engagement with the local community. The center is a place to practice, demonstrate, learn, and teach about sustainability issues. A spinoff from this initiative is the Catawba Farmers Market, which began this summer. Abundant produce from area growers, combined with the enthusiasm of local consumers, has made this market a big success. All of this would not be possible without the hard work and the vision of Susan Short, the director of the Virginia Tech Roanoke Center. Susan provides the administrative oversight of this dynamic project with the assistance of stakeholders from the university, Roanoke County, and most importantly, the community. Susan, where are you? I want you to stand and be recognized. Special thanks to Susan Short. Roanoke County was also proud this year to take part in an international program with visitors from the country of Poland. In June, we received visitors representing Opola, Poland. Janusz Korpinski, head of international relations in Opola, and Dr. Donata Kurpas from the Higher National Medical School in Opola and the Family Medicine Center in Wrocław Medical University. I had the pleasure to join them during the week as we visited our libraries, the Jefferson College of Health Science, Virginia Tech Carilion, the Spring Hollow Reservoir, and the National D-Day Memorial. They were really impressed with Roanoke County, how we live, work, and play, and they told us about some exciting ways of life in Poland. As an example of our cooperation in the medical field, we're working on a plan for a Polish-American medical conference. As you can see, growing relationships not only occurs with local communities, but also between countries thousands of miles apart. Together, we can make it happen. Roanoke County also recognizes the importance of planning for future growth. We have a history of involving the business community, as well as our citizens. We want their input. By doing this, we believe we will produce an environment that encourages private sector investment that will create jobs and therefore new revenues for the county. To this end, the county's community development staff has been holding informational meetings and working with citizens in and around the county near our commercial entrance corridors. Under the direction of Arnold Cubby, we're preparing individual plans for improvements to these communities, including identifying opportunities for Roanoke County to partner with the business community and residents. To date, the board has approved and adopted plans in 5 corridors: the Plantation and Williamson Road area in Hollins, Route 221 South in the Pogues Mill, Benton Mountain area, the Mount Pleasant community, the Route 220 South area to the Franklin County line, and the Benton-Hardy Road corridor in East County. We're currently working with citizens right this moment in the Glenver and Dixie Caverns area to study their route and their plans along Route 11460. And we will also be looking at Peters Creek Road and the Route 419 corridors. Now I want to take a moment and talk a little bit about something a lot of elected officials stay away from, and I want to talk about the tax rate in Roanoke County. As a retired business owner and lifelong resident of the Roanoke Valley, I take some special pride in telling people that there's no better place to live, work, raise a family, or grow a business than right here in Roanoke County. When we take a walk along the Greenway or a ride along the Blue Ridge Parkway, we're reminded constantly of all Roanoke County has to offer. And when I'm traveling, I'm not shy at all to tell strangers about the success story of Roanoke County. Quite frankly, the conversation is in response to people say, "Butch, why is Roanoke County's real estate tax rate higher than your nearby neighbors?" And then I go into my explanation to them, and I want to share that with you this morning. It's true that our tax rate in real estate is higher than Botetourt, Craig, Franklin, Floyd, and Montgomery counties. Our tax rate is $1.09 per 100 of assessed value, while our neighbors pay from 53 to 74 cents. But there's a reason, folks, for that difference. Roanoke County, we provide quality services, and our citizens want and need to keep these services. As our Fire and Rescue Chief, Rick Butch, mentions to us from time to time, when a citizen dials 911, they're not having a good day, you can rest assured. They want a fire truck, they want an ambulance at their scene, and they want them there now. And for many years, we have relied on a group of dedicated volunteers to be the first ones on the scene. But folks, as you well know, times are changing. Being a volunteer firefighter EMT requires more and more training, and fewer people have that time to give up. In order to improve our fire and rescue response time, we have gradually shifted to become a combination department, meaning we still have our active volunteers, and we dearly love them. But we also have a staff of more than 150 paid firefighter EMTs. This approach is different from our neighboring counties, but it's necessary to meet Roanoke County's needs. We're also different in our other counties, other local county neighbors in our approach to law enforcement. Courthouse security, civil process, and the care of prisoners is managed by Sheriff Mike Winston and his staff. The remaining law enforcement responsibilities are handled by a separate police department under the direction of Chief Ray Lavender. By separating these two functions, Roanoke County feels like we're better able to serve our citizens. Another characteristic that sets Roanoke County apart is our curbside trash and bulk and brush collection service. In most counties around us, the citizens have to dispose of their trash themselves at a landfill or dumpster, or pay a private contractor to come take it away for them. As I mentioned, Our tax rate is $1.09, which is, by the way, down from $1.14, the rate it was in 1999 when I was first elected, and that's good news. But folks, we know of that amount, 32 cents goes to cover fire and rescue, police, and trash collection. In other words, if we take that cost of these valuable services out of the equation, our tax rate is very close, extremely close to that of our neighbors. But our citizens tell us time and time again, we want and need and demand these services. This morning I've talked about our efforts to provide quality services and facilities for our 90,000 citizens. And I want to tell you that meeting these expectations could not be possible without sound financial planning. Our board and our staff has been responsible stewards, and we've taken the necessary steps to set aside reserves to safeguard our financial health. Billy Driver, our Director of Real Estate Valuation, will tell us the growth that we knew before is not happening now. But our real estate values are holding steady. However, the same cannot be said about the revenues. Last couple of years, our revenues have been declining, and this in itself has created a big challenge for our board and our staff. Yet, we were able to end the year in the black by delaying maintenance, utilizing reserves and other one-time revenue sources. We implemented a hiring freeze and put restrictions on travel. We all pulled together like we should in a team effort to help keep our service levels in place. All of our department directors need to be commended for a job well done, and I want to recognize a few. Our budget team, comprised of our county administrator, Clay Goodman, our assistant county administrators, Diane Hyatt, Dan O'Donnell, our finance director, Rebecca Owens, our management and budget director, Brent Robinson, and our human resources director, Joe Segroy. To each of you, thank you. Thank you and thank you from our heart for your insight, your dedication, and hard work this year. Folks, help me thank them because this is an outstanding job in the financial side of Roanoke County. I wish I could tell you next year is a promising outlook, but I wouldn't be honest with you. It's still going to be bleak, but we're going to make it. And we want to involve our citizens along each step. When our citizens call or email with questions, we do everything we can to respond promptly. I truly believe that transparency is the key to good, sound government, and involving our citizens openly and willingly will always keep them informed. Our board agendas, minutes, and meeting times can be found on the Roanoke County website. Thanks to our Director of TV, Elaine Bays-Murphy, you can also view our meetings on TV cable channel 3, or even watch them online. For years now, Roanoke County has posted budget information online. We want to make certain more than ever today that you know about it and that it's easy to find. Our Director of Communications and Information Technology Director, Bill Greaves, and Director of Public Information, Teresa Hall, are working and continues to work to keep you informed. Our Board of Supervisors truly understands the importance of educating our young people, and our commitment to schools is a chore that we take very, very seriously. We view our relationship with the school board as a partnership, and we've agreed upon a funding formula that lets us know what we can and cannot expect. There's not any hidden surprises when we start doing the budgeting. We know pretty much where we stand. Sometimes the government side, our side, has a little bit more money left. Other times the school board is a bit better off. But regardless, we know we're in it together. We know that we are going to stick together for better or worse. And we have a fantastic relationship. I want to thank you and all of you board members, administration, because we are partners and we're so proud of our schools. I felt it was important to extend an invitation to the chairman of the Roanoke County School Board this morning to join me at the podium. Mike Stovall was first elected to the school board in 1994 and is currently serving as chairman for the 4th time. Please join me as we welcome Chairman Stovall.
Thank you.
Say welcome to you and say, isn't this just a great place to be? Right here on a Friday morning in this beautiful building, talking about this great land that we call Roanoke County. I am proud to be standing here this morning as your chairman. I am proud to say, like you, that I'm a resident of Roanoke County, and every day we make a difference in the work that we do. Now, there's not something wrong with the slide presentation. I'll tell you that before I start talking. One of the most difficult things that I have to do when I speak is speak from notes. So I don't want you to think if the slides go back and forth that there's something wrong. Mr. Lineberger is great at the job that he does. Sometimes when I get to speaking from notes, I veer a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, we come through one of the toughest times in the history of Roanoke County this past year. About a decade ago, we took partisan politics and pushed it aside in this county. The Board of Supervisors and the school board decided that it was in our best interest to work great together for the betterment of this county and for the betterment of you. Today, you've heard about the Board of Supervisors. I want to recognize myself as chairman, and I'd like to ask them to stand, the three school board members that are here this morning, and that is Mr. David Weimer, Mr. Jerry Canada, and Mr. Fuzzy Minix is in the back. Will you stand for me, please, and help me recognize them? There are contentious relationships throughout this state between Board of Supervisors and school boards, city councils and school boards, and councils and school boards. Join me this morning and thank them when they walk out this door, because the Board of Supervisors of Roanoke County believes in public education. I'm going to talk about some things in just a few minutes that'll give you examples of those. But if you will join me right now in thanking the Board of Supervisors for their great commitment to public education. During the tough economic times, we had a goal in mind, and that goal was tough. The first goal was that we wanted to balance the budget for the school system, so that we could give it to the Board of Supervisors and not lay off a single full-time employee. Ladies and gentlemen, we accomplished that goal. And on behalf of the school board and on behalf of the citizens of this county, I want to express the thank you to you for your work with us, the information that you gave us, and the opportunities that you gave us to make a difference during this budget process. At the same time, our students continue to receive a top quality of education. We did not compromise the classroom, and in not compromising the classroom, every school in Roanoke County is fully accredited by the Virginia Department of Education. One of the highest and most hardened goals that we want to work for is the on-time graduation rate. And that is students graduating from high school, of course, on time. I'm proud to say this morning that our on-time graduation rate is 91.2%, as you can see on the slide, and it is one of the highest in the region. There comes awards. I stand here this morning as chairman of the school board to tout our school system. I don't do it. The men and women that are working right now in the trenches at the schools are the ones that do it. And you know, we take those little boys and those little girls when they first come to us in what's called pre-K and K, and they can't take a crayon and draw between the lines. And you know, they graduate from all 5 of our high schools throughout this county, and you know who they turn out to be? Individuals just like you sitting in this room today. Whatever path you choose to take, but we graduate those people. It's not me, it's not the school board, it's the men and women that take that challenge every morning to go to work. And as Rosa Parks said when interviewed by Walter Cronkite about that infamous bus ride, and you may have heard me say this in the past, he asked her about that infamous bus ride, and she said, some days I feel like an acorn, and some days I feel like an oak tree. And we know that our teachers and our administrators and our staff feel like that. Roanoke County is blessed to have a staff of outstanding and award-winning teachers. In the past year, our teachers have been recognized with some prestigious awards, including the McLaughlin Award for Teacher Excellence. 3 out of the 6 finalists for McLaughlin Award were Roanoke County teachers, and as you can see on the screen, we had 1 winner. We are also proud that the state's top technology teachers, the state's top secondary art teacher, and the state's top elementary math teacher are all teachers in Roanoke County. Great teachers and great students make great schools. Roanoke County is fortunate to have 3 schools that received the 2010 Governor's Award for Educational Excellence, including Hidden Valley High School, which has won 3 awards this year in a row. The entire school division was recognized with the 2010 Board of Education Excellent Award. 5 elementary schools have received the Distinguished Title I School Award, 4 which are repeat winners. And you have the arts. For the 7th year, we've been recognized as one of the top 100 communities nationwide for music education. The Center for Performing Arts was Virginia's nominee for the prestigious Kennedy Center Awards. Extracurricular activities are an important part of a child's life. We read and hear every day that tough time for them is between 3 and 6 every afternoon. No, we're not athletic students. We are student athletes. However, we promote the fact for athletics in this county along with a lot of other extracurricular activities. Our students are demonstrating their excellence on the field and on the court as well. This year, Roanoke County Public Schools congratulated several high school teams for winning state championships in football, basketball, swimming, cross country, wrestling, tennis, and softball. You can drive around this county and you can look at what we've done together. It's not one person. There's no I in the word team. It's us and the Board of Supervisors, and it's you, the citizens. And you can look at the renovations that we've been able to do. Sure, citizens ask a lot of questions. Tough budget times. You know, you didn't lay off a single employee. People hadn't had raises. But now how do you build? How do you renovate? You do that by being good stewards of the taxpayers' dollars and planning. And you do that by not spending a lot when times are big and nice and flourishing. You save. And that gives us that opportunity. As we are working to make cuts, we are also working to improve the conditions in our classroom. In the next few months, we will complete major renovation expansion projects at Cave Spring, Green Valley, and Mount Pleasant Elementary Schools, as well as expansion and renovations to William Byrd High School. Very soon, we will be holding open houses at the elementary schools, and we invite you to come. Construction also is underway to build a new Masons Cove Elementary School, which will use several aspects of green technology. This summer, we will begin the demolition and reconstruction of Cave Spring Middle School. While we are rebuilding Cave Spring Middle School, students will attend Hidden Valley Middle School and Cave Spring High School. This is another example of the kind of teamwork that helps make Roanoke County so successful. And speaking of teamwork, these improvements to our educational facilities wouldn't be possible without, as I've stated, the cooperation between us and the Board of Supervisors. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've never had the opportunity to pause in your day and take an hour or an hour and 15 minutes and listen to the Rachel's Challenge presentation, it's mesmerizing. I've heard a lot of presentations in my life, but I actually heard Rachel's father speak at William Byrd Middle School. And oh, what a sad day. What a sad day of the beginning of a beautiful day at school that ended up, as we all know, as a tragedy. Another example of the teamwork stems from our efforts to reduce bullying, not only in Roanoke County, but across the entire Roanoke Valley. And it's not only somebody making a one-on-one statement to a student against student. It's now branched out. We had a conversation at the last school board meeting about texting and bullying, about Facebook and bullying, and about internet and bullying. Recently, our middle schools accepted the Rachel's Challenge, and now we are working to create a certain reaction of kindness and compassion in schools across the Roanoke Valley to stop bullying before it starts. This year has been challenging. We have a staff and we have a team that goes to work every day for us on the field. I am proud to say that we have 3 of our top administrators with us this morning. I'm going to ask them to stand. I'd like you to help me in joining in recognizing them. And they are Assistant Superintendents Penny Hodge, Dr. Carol Whitaker, and Alan Jernell. This next year in Roanoke County is not going to be easy. This next year in Virginia is not going to be easy. But you know, once again, as I said in the beginning, together we'll make a difference. We don't always make everybody happy, but it's incumbent upon us. And this is why I believe we succeed every day. We succeed every day as a school board and a board of supervisors because we provide you with an answer. We provide you with an answer, and we provide you with the reason why we give that answer. We're going to ask you for your help going forward. We're going to ask you to be with us. We're going to ask you to understand us, and we're going to ask you just to read about us. And if you have any ideas, if you have anything that we can use that will help make this process easier, please provide it for us. Leave here today knowing that we live in a great county. Leave here today knowing that, you know, we do make a difference in the lives, not only on the school side, but on the government side. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us this morning. And as chairman of the school board and as a member of the school board, if there's anything that I can ever do, please call me. I'd like to ask God to bless each one of you, and I'd like to turn the podium back over to Chairman Church.
Great job. Great job. Chairman Stovall, thank you so much for your kind remarks. And folks, I hope you can see that what we accomplish with the school board and their staff and the board of supervisors and our staff, it's not luck, folks. It's not luck. We're willing to sit down. We're willing to talk about differences. We communicate with each other. We work through the problems. We find solutions. And ladies and gentlemen, that doesn't occur in every locality. And you said together we make a difference. Pardon me. I'll say together we also make it happen. So I want to thank the school board very much, excuse me, folks, for your continuation of what we established many years ago. Thank you. I want to also say we have a great partnership and value the services of our colleagues, the constitutional offices. And I want to name them today. Our Circuit Court Clerk, Steve McGraw. Our Commissioner of the Revenue, Nancy Horn, who we recognized earlier. Our Commonwealth's Attorney, Randy Leach. Treasurer, Kevin Hutchins. And Sheriff Mike Winston. Of course, without our voter registrar, Judy Stokes, and her staff, we elected officials would all be lost. I look forward to working with my fellow board members to find new ways as we move forward together. Now is the time, I feel, that we can begin work to a very promising future for Roanoke County. In closing, I have some special comments and thank yous to make. I had some extremely wonderful help preparing this address, and I want to say thank you in a very special way. On a personal note, I sincerely believe that holding public office is a sacred trust. Our citizens do not expect perfection, but they do expect that we work hard, we represent their interest, that we're honest and open with them in all of our decisions. And now I want to give the most important thank you of all. I want to thank our employer, the 90,000 plus citizens living in Roanoke County. You are the ones who determine how effectively we do our job. I want to once again encourage you to get involved and stay involved. Please help us help you. We promise you transparency and hard work. Stay with us. Continue to help us help you, because together we can make it happen. I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to be here this morning. Hopefully we've had a story to tell about Roanoke County and the Roanoke County schools that we're proud of. And thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for your attention and for being here this morning.